There is no shortage of content creators on social media covering all sorts of Pokemon products. After all, this is the highest grossing media franchise of all time, and it can be a no-brainer to tap into this space to get a large audience to view all of your other content. The TCG section can be considered one of the smaller subcategories, but recently all eyes are turning towards it with the launch of Pokemon TCG Pocket mobile game and banger nostalgic sets focusing on the original 151 Pokemon as well as evolutions. No products are on shelves and people are clowning themselves by fighting in front of inanimate vending machines. Yet, you can still see massive influx of videos with products stacked on top of each other and content creators ripping open booster boxes after booster boxes as if they own the printing machines. How is it possible for content creators to get the latest sets? And how would you be able to get started in this space? The harsh reality is that when most people are starting out, they don't have a hobby shop with distribution access or sponsors. They're just regular, passionate fans who want to share their hobby with others, whether they're players of the game or collectors of all things Pokemon. Or they're, sneakerheads. When it comes to choosing which products to buy, think about what kind of content you want to make with it and what costs are most likely associated with your choice. Focusing on new releases is like entering a rigged contest. Gotta already be super popular, or bribe your way in. You'll always have to chase for the latest sets and run the risk of paying way above MSRP just to have product ready on release day to make content. Unfortunately, unless you make it really big or gain backdoor access to product before street date, and in the process making you extremely disliked by the community, you'll have a really hard time being as quick as a larger content creator out there who already have sponsorship support. Go for vintage sealed if you are craving the nostalgia of a childhood you wish you had, or are into aged fine wine. It could take a longer time or hard to get your hands on these depending on what product you're going after. Less vintage in circulation can also mean higher prices, and the seller has more power over the transaction, especially if the product is sought after, like the first edition base set. However, because you are not at the whim of the algorithm by hopping on the latest Pokemon trends, vintage videos are more evergreen and can ride in waves of popularity depending on the state of the TCG scene overall. And finally, niche up so that you're not like them other TCG content creators. This could be specific Pokemon, artists, single cards of a certain slab company. More research is needed on your end to figure out what is out there, but it could be worth it if you have a specific target audience you want to cater to. Similar to vintage, the content is more evergreen. However, you may still suffer the same issues as someone who's focusing on new releases, depending on how popular the Pokemon or artist is. I am sorry, all Pikachu fans out there. You could also be a mix of the three focuses, like me. I love collecting Glaceon-related products and in turn like most of the evolution products. But I also like to catch the newest set releases to stay up to date in the community and to share thoughts about it. I don't have the funds to keep up with the later sets though, like Heatwave Arena is going to cost about $150 USD, including shipping, for a single box, for launch day. Even battle partners, I waited a month or so until prices lowered down a bit to grab one. And these boxes will be reprinted to the ground in Japan. I guarantee it. While it may not look like it right now, my content isn't solely focused on just Pokemon TCG. I do stream pack openings once a week on Twitch, as well as offering many videos on TCG product unboxings and reviews. I found a good cadence for what products to open with my budget. With my audience size, I only get pennies from ad revenue and definitely not enough revenue from subs and memberships to help fund my projects. I do appreciate those who can help support the channel by sending occasional gifts on my Throne wishlist, which has items I would love to unbox one day on the channel, or by tipping. But I can't solely rely on that because Throne has very little reliability of when they place the order and when products arrive. Yet, I'm still able to produce content involving opening products or packs at least once a week. This has been and will be sustainable for at least half a year more. Here's how I do it. Okay, first of all, there is no secret sauce to obtaining product and getting rich quick in this hobby. But there's always a smart way of doing it without breaking the bank. The biggest thing that has helped me is planning ahead. And I'm talking months in advance. And not the social media standards of time where one day of no tweets is equivalent to you disappearing for 3,000 years. Save one or two items that you won't open unless you run out of pack and cannot get any at a reasonable price for that week. This is going to be your emergency stash that should never, ideally, never be opened. In the case that shipping is delayed or in periods of high market prices, making it unviable to buy anything, you'll at least have something to make content out of. Just make sure that you're not stashing it next to the 10-year expired canned beans in your cupboard that you totally didn't forget about. If you're already buying products from a local game shop, you might be able to secure pre-orders of upcoming products at a good price before the amount is bumped up post-release date. For Prismatic Evolutions, I kept an eye out on pre-order dates and have been pretty fortunate to grab everything at MSRP. Journeying together, I managed to catch the ETB pre-orders on the Pokemon Center website. However, if I wasn't able to get it, I was not going to touch the expansion set until the hype dies down a bit. Heck, I might not even ever touch it if products are super scarce and if the prices are still very high after that. If you're just starting out though, just start building a good relationship with your local game shop. For example, I loved visiting the same mom and pop boba shop so much that the owners remember my orders without me asking and sometimes even offered free drinks or toppings that they wanted to test out. Same with the Thai shop that offered special discounts at times. And this is a very common tip across all different situations. Build genuine and consistent relationships. You'll hear this if you want good allocations from distributors, and you'll hear about it for building a good YouTube channel. If LGSs are selling products above scalper prices though, then it's best not to touch products at all and just keep an eye out on the market prices. And I don't mean sticking air tags on the distributor's truck so that you can be the first in line for restocks. Yes, this is apparently a very common thing and it's a crime in the majority of the world, so don't do it. By this point, it's probably already too hard to get started, so it's best to wait it out by focusing on other hobbies for content that you can make. Wait until prices have cooled down and then make your purchases. Jump in on sales like Black Friday, tax breaks, or bundling up a large order to hit that free shipping just to save some extra money. You can also save some more by trading unwanted cards into an LGS for a store credit, as you'll usually get a better percentage cut than selling it for cash directly. I've traded off cards like the Venusaur and Jolteon SIRs to exchange for products to use for future content. If you have a large amount of bulk, this is also a good way to offload it to a store and get some store credit. But assuming you can't even get products right now, your bulk pile might be a little empty. And consider it a fun challenge to get the best valued products given a budget. You can even turn that into content if you want. Hey, free video idea! Shop around different LGS websites from around the world. I only found out that I could get traditional and simplified Chinese products at a fraction of the cost of what people are selling on eBay, even if I factored in shipping costs. Quite a few content creators even have their own shops that provide decent prices for certain products. I even bought a Japanese V-Star Universe from a Korean shop because of the sale that they had during that time. Just be aware of stupid tariffs that are going around right now, or you might end up paying triple of what you thought you would be getting as a good deal. Why, Felynne, isn't this just all things you should do as an informed consumer? Well, yes, of course it is. You would think this is what everyone does and knows about, but it's actually really hard to peel back the facade made by endless rip and shippers, as well as top search results being all big content creators with huge pack openings. Everyone starts with an interest in the hobby, and it takes time to grow a community and a following. It would be extremely unwise to start with a 100 pack opening stream if you don't have the capital to sink into the hobby. And no, just because you can pay for it within your credit card limits doesn't mean you should use it. Do not go into debt because you want sparkly cardboard. Remember what your objectives are for making this type of content. Okay, if you're here to make a quick buck though, then just get out of the community. No one wants you here. What you see in videos is an accumulation of efforts over time. Start off with a single pack to open and work your content around it. Gradually, as you gain momentum, you'll get a feel of what works and what doesn't. Honestly, a lot of the things I mentioned in this video can apply to different content niches too. Just replace the word TCG with video games or any other kind of hobby, and there you have it. If you like watching this video, check out this one about some cool TCG products that I unboxed in the past, or this one that's recommended for you. I stream pack openings for TCGs like Pokemon on Twitch, and if you want to support the channel, consider joining the membership or other ways listed down below. Bye for now!